Hey everyone, Rosie and Nugget here. Thank you for checking out our channel, Red Door Reader. I am here today with a maybe original tag. I don't know. So this tag video is going to be called the poetry tag, I guess. I recently read Love Her Wild by Atticus and I absolutely fell in love with this. And as I was reading through it, there were a bunch of them that made me think of characters or stories that I had read recently in fiction, so I decided this would be fun. Normal spoiler warning will apply, so if I have the book cover up, whether I'm holding it or I just put it up in editing, I may be talking about spoilers, so if you don't want to know about them, then just skip on by. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get started. The very first one I have is on page 15. If you have the book, you can check it out. This one says, "My atoms love your atoms, it's chemistry." And that simplicity there, it just really screamed to me Augustus Waters and Hazel Grace Lancaster from A Fault in Our Stars. And this relationship that they built and the way that they describe it in the book, it's like the most gigantic, enormous, and equally tiny thing in the entire world. And I just think that's so lyrical and so poetic that you can exist in such a small quantity, but also it's this huge rapturous thing. So that just really screamed Augustus and Hazel to me. I hope you feel the same way, because it just seemed like something I could hear Augustus Waters saying, you know, my atoms love your atoms, it's chemistry, that's just how it is. You know, there's no fighting it, it's chemistry. So that one was very much them. The next one is only a few pages off. That's on page 19, and this one very simply says, "I promise to live a life so rich in love that at the end I will not be afraid of death." And I could not think of anything better or anyone better for this poem than Madeline from Everything Everything, and that's by Nicola Yoon. I absolutely fell in love with Maddie. I think she was just so sweet and so precious, and with everything that she had gone through, she, you know, was willing to risk her life when she left to go to the beach with Ollie, with her neighbor Ollie. And it was like living was worth that. It was worth the risk of death. After she found out that her mother had been lying and she wasn't sick and she could go out and there was nothing wrong with her, she would want to live that extraordinary life that she always built up when she was stuck in the house. You know, no matter what, I want to live a life that's rich of love. And it's not just romantic love, it's seeing things and languages and music and places and things, and just having that full round experience of life that she wouldn't be afraid of dying. So that was 100% Maddie in my opinion. So the next one that I have here is on page 45 of the book. I'm going to look at this one to read it because I cannot memorize all those lines. It says, "When I saw you first, it took every ounce of me not to kiss you. When I saw you laugh, it took every ounce of me not to love you. When I saw your soul, it took every ounce of me." I'm going to give this one to Ella and Reed from Paper Princess. And not just from Paper Princess, it would be the whole Royal series really. You get that experience where when he first saw her, it was stunning to him and he didn't know how to take that. She took every part of him without him really being able to stop it, without him being able to do anything about it. And I just, that was them. That's all them. So the next one I have is on page 96. It is right on this side of the page, so I'm just going to read it. It is, "It was never the way she looked, always the way she was. I would have fallen in love with her with my eyes closed." I could not have picked a better pairing than Wanda and Ian from The Host. It's basically that our world has been taken over and there are these like aliens that are put into human bodies, and once they're put into the human bodies, they take over whoever that human was. So whoever, you know, whatever makes us us goes away, and it's just the body with this other soul in it. And Wanda, or she's known as Wanderer, but they shorten it to Wanda, she's put into this body of Melanie, and Melanie doesn't go away. And I absolutely loved their story. I loved how it changed for him. It went from he was so against everything that she was and ended up falling in love with her. And I just think that this poem was so beautifully Wanda and Ian, because it was Melanie's body. And she even had this moment where she said, if you could see me, what I truly am, you know, you'd want to squash me. And he never felt that way. And it was just beautiful. I absolutely love Wanda and Ian. I think I'm going to reread the book, to be honest, because I'm talking myself up. And now I think I want to reread it. I just love Wanda and Ian, so I definitely think this was them. The next poem I have is on page 134. It says, "She had been through hell, and though no one could see her demons, they could see the face that conquered them." I love that. I seriously love that on its own. But this gave me complete feels for one specific character, and that is Kate Harker from, well, it's the Monsters of Verity duology, but I think specifically for me it was Kate from Our Dark Duet, based on how she started out. So she starts and she's fighting, and she was always so strong about how she's trying to face this world, this crazy apocalyptic world. And I just felt like she has all of this in her background, and she holds it in like her soul and the you know, center point of who she is. And all you can see is this brave face. I cried reading this book. I will admit that. I cried like a little baby. Absolutely loved it. So this just seemed very much Kate. So the next poem I have is on page 173, right here. And this says, "The hardest step we all must take is to blindly trust in who we are." And I could not think of a single literary character that I had read in recent months that fit this better than Stargirl from Jerry Spinelli. Stargirl is this character in this story who is just who she is. She's quirky and strange in the best ways, and weird and fun, and she doesn't let anybody's opinions drag her down until she starts dating this guy. She starts to pull herself in and starts to reel herself in, but you can physically and emotionally sense that she's losing herself doing that. She's losing who she is. In the end was like, you know what? No, I need to be who I am. I need to be me. One of the ladies I work with, she told me recently something that really stuck with me, and that was, in all of history, from the very beginning of time until the day that, you know, the earth doesn't exist anymore and people don't exist anymore, no one is gonna be you. No one's gonna have your same smile, your same laugh, your same sense of humor, your same scars, your same beautiful attributes. Nobody is going to be that person. You are you, and you are the only one who's ever going to be you. So even though it's hard, you owe it to yourself to just be who you are, you know. And I just totally got on my step stool or soapbox, or I got on something. Let's go to the last one. So the last one that I have here is going to be on page 223. It is almost the last one in the book. And this one says, "I hope to arrive at my death late, in love, and a little drunk." So I can't think of a single better character who completely is this poem more than Miss Evie O'Neill. She is so spunky and so fun, and I can't believe it took me so long to read this book. Spoiler warning for my wrap-up. I finally read it. I finished it. But this, I love Evie. She is so full of spark and life and this lust for living and experiencing things, and I just think this is all her, because if anybody is going to show up knocking on death's door late, drunk, and in love, it's going to be Evie O'Neill. So definitely check this out if you haven't already. And yeah, Evie is all of those things. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you decide to do this poetry tag, just pick a couple poems that you like and say what characters or stories or storylines they remind you of and pass it along. I am not gonna tag anybody because I don't know how many people really read a lot of poetry. I know Amber said she likes poetry, so do it. But if you're watching it and you want to do it, please just give it a shot. If you agree or disagree with anything that I said in here, or you can think of other characters or books that you feel fit for any of these poems, please leave them in my comments. I love to talk to people, so I would love to get to know everybody and keep this thing going. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for all future updates from yours truly. And until next time, bye!